Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? This one should be up there. It should have been up there for a bit if I remembered to do it before I went on vacation, but maybe I'm an idiot. It happens. colinmullen.com, where you can get art made by an idiot. Yeah, it's great. Good job. Hey everybody. So real quick about this one, and then I'll get into today's subject matter. Last week's video, which I'll link here at the end, I experimented with these weird square things and I liked them, but I wanted to try it on a different sort of subject matter. So I was like, okay, let's try a brighter color palette. Let's try something that's not quite as dull and see what that looks like, and then go from there. And so I feel like this one was fairly successful. There's another one coming directly after it, which I started before I left on my vacation. So that way it would be done and I could keep with the things that I promised. That being said, I left on my vacation before I knew who had, paid for the $5 or more tier thing on Patreon. So if you're one of those people and you're not mentioned in the credits, I will make sure that you're mentioned down in the description, and I will make a big deal out of you in the next video. I'm really sorry. Unless if that's not cool. We'll figure something out, but I apologize. There was just no way I could have recorded this while I was gone. But, so let's talk about the thing. And I know a few people have already read or wrote angry comments down in the comments, and that's fine. That's, I guess, YouTube engagement. But let's go ahead and address the title. Imposter syndrome is not real. It's a bit of a joke. The point is really that we all have this thing called pluralistic ignorance, the idea that you do not know what's going on in everyone else's heads. And so you as a person may inherently believe that imposter syndrome is not real, which would mean that you're the only incompetent one. I guess I should define what imposter syndrome is. The idea of imposter syndrome is that you are being put into a position of, acclaim, or you are given, awards, or you are given respect that you do not feel like you deserve because you actually have no idea what you're doing. And you feel like an imposter in the situation you're in. You feel like you don't deserve the grades you got. You don't deserve the, scholarships you get, or getting into the college that you wanted, or the, job that you wanted, or, you feel like you can't apply for a job because you do not feel like you are qualified enough to do that job. Here's the trick with that. When I say imposter syndrome isn't real, I'm being facetious. It's not really a mental condition in the way that anxiety and depression is. It is a natural fault of the human condition that we all believe that everyone else has things figured out, but we ourselves do not. The idea that when I say that imposter syndrome is not real, the joke is that you inherently have to have believed that prior to clicking onto this video in order for you to have imposter syndrome. Because if other people can have imposter syndrome, if other people can feel the way you do, that you feel like you're not competent, then it can't be real. But we know that it's real because there are many, many people who feel like they do not deserve the attention that they get. Myself being one of them. And if that seems bizarre to you, that I can say that, sometimes I don't feel like I can talk about certain subjects on Artcade or what have you, because I'm not, a good enough artist yet to be able to cover those real heady topics. That is almost proof that you didn't realize that. Does that make sense? Let me put it a different way. I feel like the beginning of imposter syndrome is largely based on when you're growing up, you have this belief that everyone around you, everyone who has a position to tell you no, or, ground you, or, send you to the principal's office, or be the principal, or whatever, all of those people have everything figured out. They have nothing going weird in their life, and they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff because they have, at this point, figured out how life works. They were just born with that ability. And so you just sort of, at a very early age, have this expectation that certain people in the world know how the world works. And then as you get older, that's been ingrained into you. So when you start to get into positions where you're the principal, or you're the guy who says no and grounds someone or whatever, or what have you, that you are not able to do that because, your principal at your school, or the cop on the street, or the, government official, or the politician, or the church leader, or whoever in that position of power, the artist who has had 1,000 gallery shows, whatever, the YouTuber with 1 billion views, they all know what's up and you don't. And for some reason, you've tricked everyone inadvertently into thinking that you do. And here's the deal, though. They don't know what they're doing either. And I think that's one of the strongest, most important things you can realize. And the sooner you realize that, the better. That everyone else has thoughts going on in their heads. They may not believe those things necessarily apply to them on certain subjects, but they definitely believe it in certain situations. And that it's just general fault of not being able to understand what other people are thinking. You don't see how everyone else is flawed and how everyone else has weird things going on with them, and so therefore you think that you're the only one who's a weirdo. And ideally, art is supposed to help express those things that are going on in our heads. I think a lot of people think that anyway. I feel like I believe that to some degree, but then also I think you'd be hard pressed to figure out what half of my work is about, because I don't like talking about it and I hide back away from it so that way you won't know. Because I feel like to some degree that if I express those weird misfit ideas that are going on in my head, then I will somehow find out that actually no, I'm alone in that. So maybe this is me talking through that I need to actually go and figure that out on my own. But anyway, my point is that you feel like it's ridiculous for me to say that I feel like I've had imposter syndrome in the past. That is more or less proof that everyone can, you realize that other people can have imposter, or you feel like other people can't have imposter syndrome, I guess, and therefore it's not just you. Like, once you realize that other people can have it, that other people can feel incompetent at the things they're doing, despite the fact that they're showing extreme competence in what they're doing, then your worldview must fall apart at some point when you realize that other people don't know what they're doing perfectly all the time either. And you shouldn't let that hold you back, I guess. So, I guess I just talked myself into being more open about my art. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said at the top of this video, I need to thank the people on Patreon that have donated $5 or more, but I actually don't necessarily know who those people are because I'm recording this before I leave on vacation. So I'm going to be thanking the people who have, at the time of this recording, donated $5 or more, or it says that they're going to, and I'm going to trust that those payments go through, unlike I normally do. And we'll see. And we'll see how that goes, and hopefully that works out for everyone. But let me go ahead and thank the, beautiful people on patreon.com/RevScarecrow who have made this channel happen. Starting with, thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Theodore Corbier. Thank you, Spiral. Thank you, Spencer Kane. Thank you, Punkster. Thank you, Phoenixia Theorad. Thank you, Oboist Kirby. Thank you, Mortibus. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, Lost Nevada. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Holgen. Thank you, Gaizuzan. Thank you, Duxu. Thank you, Daniel Rotwind. Thank you, Cappy Rose. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Adam Kearney. And thank you, Ants! And again, thank you to everyone on patreon.com/RevScarecrow. If I didn't say your name, let me know. I will put you down in the comments, in the pinned comments, and I apologize profusely that I did not get you in there. Going off of what I know as of the time of this recording, you will be in the next video, and I'll make a big deal out of it if that makes you feel better. I'm sorry about that. I couldn't figure out another way to do it. If anyone here has any questions that they want answered in the next video, patron or not, leave them down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of this topic and how I brought it up. I will see you in the next one. And if you liked it, I guess you could sub. Bye!